What is up, Rap Potential YouTube? Welcome to today's video. We are fixing to do some awesome stuff to the RX7, the FD RX7 here today, and then I can give it back to my buddy. We're done with it. So, what do we have in store? We have to install a fuel filter, which is inside this box, OEM fuel filter, the only way to go. We also have to fix the turbo drain oil leak, which don't be alarmed, okay? 100% don't be alarmed. I already took the turbo drain off, and it has been leaking oil out of the open orifice in the side of the engine because my goal was to get the oil level below the oil drain so that I could fix it, which is why this engine's, the front of the car is jacked up in the air. The whole deal. I didn't want to have to drain all the oil to fix this oil leak. So, yes, there is a mess under the car currently. But the leak, as if it was prior to taking it apart, was maybe like a quarter sized overnight. So the oil drains down in here. I got a new gasket which is taped to here, and the oil drain itself for the turbo is here. So the other thing we are going to do, this is a fresh engine build, half Bridgeport, single turbo, the whole deal. I assembled it in the past couple months. I got the motor breaking in. Obviously we've had this oil leak. We'll get to the fuel filter here in a second. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So the oil pressure gauge in this car, right? These Mazda oil pressure senders, right? If you've ever had a Miata, and I appreciate Justin for... so if you've ever had a Miata, and I appreciate Justin for telling me this as well, which the first gen ones are kind of the same, but this is the oil sender, right? Or one of them. This one's busted, but... these are really finicky, and they never all read the same. They're never all quite normalized, and sometimes some of them react faster than others. Some of them, like with different heat and whatever, will read differently. So I know for sure that this car makes oil pressure, right? The gauge goes up, the gauge goes down, the gauge works when you rev it, the whole deal, right? No big deal. But before I give it back to my buddy, after installing the engine for him, I'm going to install temporarily through this little banjo fitting here. You can see the tubing, a mechanical oil pressure gauge. Okay, that tells me a number, and this is what I use when I run engines on the stand over here. So like a fresh engine build, before I put it in a car, give it back to somebody. We'll try to fire it up on the stand, make sure everything's good to go. You know, we got compression, we got everything that works. I have carburetors and stuff laying around that I use for that procedure. So I want to install this gauge so that I can verify that the oil pressure in the dash is correct, and also verify that the O-ring on the front cover, which I mentioned this in my last video, and I'll mention it briefly in this one, but there's an O-ring in the front cover right here that comes from the oil pump. So the oil pump would mount here, it pumps oil over here, and then pumps the oil up, and then from this hole it gets distributed into the front cover for some stuff, and then through the rest of the engine. Right? There's passages that it goes up and around in all sorts of wicked directions. So, if that oil O-ring leaks, you will see a large range of oil pressure. And what I mean by that is at idle, you'll see maybe 20, right? 15, 10, 20. But when you rev it, it's going to get really high. And you'll see you're like 70 PSI. Instead of it idling at like 20, 25, and then you see, you know, your high PSI. So I just want to verify the oil pressure gauge should tell me what the pressures are doing. I don't think it's leaking. No chance. I really don't think it is. I think that the factory gauge is a little funky, and I just want to verify that it's working. So that's what we're going to do today. As far as if you came here just to see me swap the fuel filter, we will get to that coming up in the end of this video. I've got to fix this drain first, so that way I can set the car back level. We'll jack the back of the car up. And as far as what I've heard, I've never done a fuel filter on an FD before, but people have told me that it's a real pain in the butt. Other people have been like, well, I've never seen an FD fuel filter get clogged. Whatever. I don't care. We're going to swap the fuel filter out. This car's almost 30 years old. It needs the fuel filter swapped out. Sorry about you. So, fast forward in the video if you just want to see that. Otherwise, I'm going to get to fixing this and putting the front end of this back together, getting that oil fitting put back on, and getting the rest of this dialed. So let's get to it. Alright folks, we have some awesome news, okay? So you can hear the car running. Ignore the heinous exhaust leak. I'll explain that in a second. Notice we've got 75 psi oil pressure right there. It's pretty cold still, and that is matching up to, we'll say, 3.5 kilograms per centimeter cubed. So what that tells me is that the factory gauge is wrong. So 1 kilogram per centimeter cubed of pressure, right? Centimeter squared, whatever it is. That gauge, one of those, is equal to like 13-ish, 14-ish psi. I did the little Google math to figure it out. So the gauge in the dash is reading lower than what is actually happening in the engine, which is great, because when I see that gauge, right, start to wig out and do some weird stuff towards the lower end of the spectrum once this is warmed up and idling, I was worried that it wasn't making enough oil pressure, but it turns out it is. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, we're good. So, fuel pressure working. This gauge, I'll take it off. So I'm going to let it warm up. Make sure there's no oil leaks or anything still. Once it gets up to temperature, it'll start brapping real hard. And then tomorrow in the morning, we'll swap out the fuel pump or fuel filter. So I'll update you with any issues. If not, we're going to get right to that fuel filter tomorrow. Howdy ho, friends and neighbors. We are addressing the fuel pump. So if you've never worked on an FD before, and this is your first time ever playing with the fuel pump, gotta love that exhaust pipe. So right here in this picture, I'm going to hold it still so I can put some text on it. You're going to see two 10mm bolts right next to each other up there above the diff. And you're going to be like, no way I'm getting to those, right? However, you can actually reach them from this side. There's an access hole in the subframe, and you can get through there to get those two bolts out. They're the ones that are going vertical on your screen, but are also parallel to the direction to the ground. They're not going up into the car, they're going horizontal. Okay, so those bolts hold the fuel filter bracket to the car. The fuel filter bracket then holds the fuel filter. So I'm going to scoot back and I'm going to show you where the fuel filter is. So now that you're here, you can see right there in the center of your screen the fuel filter. Yes, it's mounted on top of the diff. Not entirely the worst place to put it, but it could have definitely been harder to get to. So the fuel lines, you need to take them off. I'm having a little bit of an issue reaching the one that goes to the center of the fuel filter. The longer one there, which you can see in the front of the screen, not too bad. If you got a long needle nose pliers, you can reach the clamps on that. So my issue here is that the clamp is spun the wrong way. If I could spin it by hand and then grab it, then obviously it would be good, but I'm going to have to use an assortment of small needle nose pliers to get it. So it's going to be really hard for me to show you guys how this is done, so I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down and pop this out, and then I'll recap what exactly happened to get it all the way out. But there you can see where it is. The new one, my thinkings are I'm going to take the whole bracket off with the filter on it, because I'm going to have to loosen the bracket to get to that hose clamp. Once that's done, then I'll take the whole bracket up to the front, switch out the fuel filter in the bracket in the same, twist orientation, and then put the new one back up in here. So I've only been at it for, 10 minutes to be able to, well, I knew where it was and all of that, but I'm expecting it, 30-minute job maybe, 35-minute job. If you can get your car up in the air, it shouldn't be too hard. So I'll show you guys the fuel filter. Get it out. Oh, yeah. Who's the captain? I'm the captain. Where the hell did I set my plug now? I bet this is going to have a bunch of fuel coming out of it. Oh, really? Okay. Not bad. Sick. I had a rag up in there, but my hands are so soaked with fuel. Alright. Let's slide out from underneath here. Got ready to put it back together. We have the fuel pump, or fuel filter. Go with fuel in it. Oh, that's really not that good looking fuel there. That's pretty dirty. Guess that's why you change them. Okay, so this sits in the car just like this. So this is the car here. You can see this this is how this resides, and it mounts. The bolts go through this side into that. This one right here, little nipple, the hose clamp, the OEM clamp for that one was kind of a pain to get it off. Really needed like a double bent tip needle nose pliers. So like one that went this way, then back this way, so I could reach around some stuff. But we got it off, and we'll grab the new guy. So you can see here, the new one, exact same. It's already got an indexing line on it, which will line up with the index on the bracket. So we'll pop this 10 mil out here. This bracket will open up. We can take this Philip off, put this one in. Bam, 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 bam. So you can see indexing line, indexing line, indexing line. They all line up. So it's just those three. Let's see about how far back was this thing sitting. So lining up the marks on this filter here, the marks about the spacing it needed to be from here. We'll go ahead, start this bolt real quick, then we'll line that up perfect and stick this dude back in there. Alright, homies, there you can see the new one chilling up in there, all fresh and ready to rip. I was able to put the hose clamp on in an orientation that made it easier to get it off for the next guy, so that's a win. These two bolts up in here, which you probably can't really see this, so I guess I'll get the light back. So these two bolts up in here, remember those were kind of a pain to get started, but I have a real nice little electric ratchet, so I could stick the bolt in the hole, get this little extension guy on it, and then just barely go with that until I knew it was threaded properly. And then once I knew I wasn't cross-threaded, I'm good to go to tighten them down. So that was a huge win. If you're having to do that by hand, you're going to want to use the extension in your hands to tighten it. So that culminates the FD build on the channel. So this is off back to my buddy for him to tear it up. So half Bridgeport installed and good, oil leaks fixed, oil pressure all good to go, 1,300 break-in miles, 2 oil changes, and I'm not a big fan of FDs, but this one proved that I don't ever need to own one. So it was nice. I appreciate him letting me borrow it. Obviously, I did some work on it, but trusted me to break it in, make sure everything was good to go. So with that, guys, I'm going to get this thing out of here, hose it off, and he's going to pick it up tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Keep it rad. How about that new driveway? What are you doing, laddie? Barking at stuff? And I'll tell you this, the worst part about doing that fuel pump thing, the bottom of that car is literally filthy.